Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's First Formation is me, your boy Trey, my man Bishop. Y'all know y'all about to hear his we should trademark it, Bishop. You think that's a trademark coming up, baby?
What's
Because I
that?
know what's today, bruh?
Hump day?
We already know. And of
You
course,
already know what it is.
as stated yesterday, we got the great coach Angel Acevedo representing Fort Ben and Yellow Jackets. Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Doing great. Doing great.
So, of course, like you said this morning, we got Coach Acevedo, in which we're going to talk, of course, about his journey, um, and that Nationals from last weekend. And of course, what he has going on, and what he looks for, the expectations as he goes, continues as they have conference, and as well as for the most part, potentially the leagues as they are part of the MBA, Military Basketball Association. So, of course, Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a 25-year Army veteran. Been all over the world. Um, uh, Married back in 1991 to the same lady I'm with today, 30 something, 32, 33 years later. Um,
Oh, wow.
I have two daughters. Unfortunately, one passed 2 years ago. Um, We've been all over the world, man. I served 6 1-year deployments in Iraq/Afghanistan, Bosnia, and other
Mhm.
places. I've been coaching basketball, military basketball, for about 20 plus years now. I want to say 22 now.
Oh, okay. What did you do in the military, Coach?
So I was a logistician. So I was my actual
Quartermaster.
MOS was 89 Bravo. So I was in that class of MOS, class 5, that nobody wants to mess with.
Mm,
them
mm.
lowest them quartermasters, Bishop.
Yeah, yeah.
No. We ain't no quartermaster. We're ordnance.
Or oh yeah, okay.
Ordinance.
Well, logistic. Oh, I'm thinking about the logistics from
Well, yeah,
the
but you
second
know
on.
what?
Yes, yeah.
But you know what? You're right. A couple of years ago, shoot, it might have been a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
We
They
went
made that
over to
switch.
the quartermaster side.
Hmm.
They just went on and wrapped everybody up. So, but we were ordnance for probably
You
three
can't.
quarters
Y'all
of my
can't.
career.
Y'all came to the right side, Coach. Y'all came to the right side. It's okay. We understand. We understand completely. So, of course, you know what I'm saying, Coach. Like you said, being around. What do you have any particular team? Oh well, tell those people. Good morning, Key. Key, you was missing in action
She know
yesterday.
why
We
she was
got
missing
something.
yesterday.
You got some things to talk about, Key. Just we gonna get to you in a second. So, of course, Coach, like you said, let the people know, those that don't know you, where you representing, where you coming from.
Oh, I'm sorry. You kind of you faded away there. Say that again.
Where let the people know where you're from exactly.
Oh, originally, once again, from San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Okay. Oh, Puerto Rico. Oh, let's
That's,
go.
that's right. That's right.
So, Coach, you have any teams like the last couple of people that we got on there, especially those that claim to be military brats? Um, don't necessarily. I know Puerto Rico doesn't have a home teams and stuff like that, so you get a little pass. But we have a couple of people. I'm not going to say any names that because they've been military brats, they tend to have they from one place in the states, but they have like 6 other teams. So, what teams do you represent your city?
Wow, that's what we doing right now. That's what we doing right now, huh? Okay,
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell
okay.
you, I'm gonna tell you right now. Ever since I was little, I've been a Dallas Cowboy
How
fan.
did I know? How did I know, bruh? How did I know? How did I
Oh
Yep,
know?
my
I
gosh.
go back to the days, way back to the days of Tony Dorsett, Herschel
And
Walker.
look, as soon as you say Cowboy
Oh,
fan, look who pop up.
good. Yeah, of all people, of all
Okay,
people.
Herschel Walker. Okay, okay. Uh, what about NBA, if any, coach?
I mean, I follow the NBA. I really haven't had a real favorite team. I follow the Heat because I like their coaching staff and what they do and what they've done in the past decade with basketball. But not really an avid NBA fan, because I mean, I only watch the NBA when the playoffs start.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
So I have a question. It actually is a question that comes up, and it's for both you and Bishop. Now that I think about it, like, what does being a dependent early in your in life, does that kind of like lead? Is that like a focal point where it leads you in, or maybe not for that most point, into becoming a service member? Because both being former dependents prior to getting your own career, was that did that happen in a sense for both of y'all?
Yes, yes. So, I mean, being a dependent, yeah, I mean, you definitely get to see the world with your parents, and as you get older, you start, you reach that point in your life where, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with my life? And I just
Mm,
watched my father and what he did and how successful he was. Um, like I said, he served 20 years in the Air Force, and right after the Air Force, he took maybe like a 3-4 month break, and he became a contractor overseas in Saudi Arabia for another 15 years. So he was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And as I got closer to my time to retire, I said, I'm going to go ahead and, do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and get my 25 years in, punch my ticket, my DD 214. And then I'm not going to take a break. I'm going to go straight over there and go ahead and make this big money, come back and take care of business. And that's what I did. I wanted to make sure my daughters went through college and not have to worry about paying off nobody's loans. They went to their semesters. Their semesters were paid up front. So, I mean, my plan was intact. I knew what I was going to do in order to ensure that when I got back here, I could just coach basketball
mhm.
undisturbed. Because the last time I had to punch a clock was 3 years ago. So I didn't. I mean, and that was because I wanted to stay busy. I actually retired fully in
Mhm.
20 in June of 2015 when I came back from what was it, Afghanistan, when I was a contractor. I worked at the U.S. Embassy there.
Okay, okay. Before you answer, Bishop, you know what? Because we tend to do a lot of references to different things,
Right.
cartoons and stuff like that. So, Bishop, when he said Saudi Arabia, immensely, oh no, tell me why my mom was like Arabian Nights, Arabian Day. So, but of course, yeah, okay, Bishop. No, I'm just sorry. So go ahead, like, but it's funny when you said that because I think I've heard Bishop say the same thing in a sense when you talk about seeing that from the service member parent and
Right.
decide. But Bishop, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, yeah. When it comes to being a dependent, man, it's definitely a special experience. I will say that I wouldn't change it for nothing because how many kids or teenagers or young, you know, people get an opportunity to travel at such a young age unless your parents are famous and
Yeah.
they
Mm,
do a lot of traveling and things like that.
Yes.
When you're a military brat, you have those opportunities. Like I had been to Germany twice, twice before I even came into the military. So I knew what Germany was about. So in regards to whether it had any impact on whether or not I chose to join the military, I would say it's a little bit of both. I want to say initially when I first saw it, I was like, nah, I don't want to join the military. They gone all the time. I was like, nah, nah, nah. But as I got older and seeing the benefits of it and things of that nature, and seeing where I was headed, which was nowhere promising, I decided to go ahead and say, you know what, let me go ahead and enlist as well. And I had some insight because of my stepdad being military, my grandfather
hmm
being military, my dad being military. I had basically a military background. I had the capabilities of being able to reach out to them and ask them about their experience and what to
hmm
expect going in myself.
Yep.
So going in, I looked at it as like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. It can't be that difficult. And yeah, to this day, man, I retired back in 2013. After 21 years, I will say I don't regret any of it. I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people who I went to school with and stuff like that have never traveled outside the U.S.
Yep.
Has never been
hmm
anywhere other than the place where they was raised, born, went to school, all of that. And for me,
Okay.
I can say I had that experience, not only as a civilian and as a young person, but also as an adult and being in the armed forces. So It was a huge benefit for me.
Yeah, if I can interrupt. Yeah,
Go
if
ahead.
I can interrupt right quick. The military, I mean, for me, it showed me a lot. I mean, as a dependent,
Absolutely.
I mean, you learn how to travel. You know, I used to hop all the time. You know, you know what I'm talking about, hopping. You know,
I know what a hop is. Yep.
Yeah, I
What y'all
mean,
not gonna do is just leave me out and talk about stuff like y'all have it. No, I know what y'all talking about. I know what y'all talking about. I know what y'all talking about.
Did you hop? Have you ever hopped before, Trey?
No, I have not. I've tried.
Yeah.
You know what?
See?
So wait, hold on. So does that? So I've hopped, but it wasn't like how
No,
y'all talking about.
you hop for
I
military
hop.
purposes.
Yeah,
You hop for military purposes. No,
Because
he talking
I
about
have to go.
for R&R and go
Yeah, I
just
haven't that.
for
No,
you saving money.
I have
Yeah.
done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not done that. So
Yeah.
y'all make sure y'all let the people know exactly that don't know what a hop is.
you want to go ahead and talk about it?
No, go ahead, Coach.
Okay.
You got it.
So a hop is, you know, it's just like traveling. Of course, you go to the military passenger terminal, and you most of the time, I mean, you have to be on leave unless you're a retiree like myself. And there's like 6 categories of travel. Not to get too far in the weeds, the benefit of hopping is you get to fly for free, and you end up just paying for like maybe a box lunch for the trip, or you know, something like that. But if you do have to pay, is maybe $20, $25, and you could do this all around the world. You could hop from Korea to Seattle to maybe Texas, Lackland Air Force Base, California, you know, wherever they have these major MAC, you know, military airlift command terminals. You can actually hop around. But, you know, as a retiree, you got time to do it. As a military person, it's hard to hop with your family. But if you're alone and you only got one bag, most of the time, it's always easy to get one seat to get on that plane to get to where you're going.
See, Coach, in that part right there, Coach Angel just said it right there. See, when I did it, what he just said, it was 5 of us. It was my mom, my stepdad, and 5 kids. So imagine trying to hop with 5 kids, Coach. We sat in the darn terminal
and all them suitcases.
Yeah, we sat in that joker for about a week trying to catch a hop. Catch a hop. Now the bad thing about a hop, what Coach didn't mention is a hop. One thing about a hop, you may be on a plane with a whole lot of military equipment. That's what you may be. And you're going to be probably on an uncomfortable seat. The seat is not comfortable. Them little netting seats.
It's no different than flying Spirit.
Yeah.
So I've been catching hops for whole life, I guess.
Yeah, netting seat, C-130. Thank you, Rich AP. A C-130, you on a C-130. It's loud. They give you earpieces. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable, look forward to type of flight. Know that. But it's going to be from point A to point B.
Yeah, and you know what? And if somebody throws up, you're going to smell it.
Yeah. That part.
So what's additionally funny, like it's a little, like y'all say, not to get too far in the weeds or anything like that. So what's funny is, like, whenever I used to get on the C-130, I always used to look and inspect the plane. Like, and the people will be like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "I'm looking for my survival clip, Mike." So at the end of the day, I'm gonna be able to tell the story of what happened. Like, I don't know what I can't swim or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, I'm going to find a way. Like, hey, if something goes wrong in here, I'm going to be able to tell the story. So when Applewhite said it's C-130, of course I heard C-130 rolling. That went through my mind. But that part brings up. So of course, so that is that's what's up. So of course, last night, let's get into a little before we get into coaches, the rest of the coaches' journey and stuff like that. Let's talk to these people with these high speeds about the NBA action that took on last night. For one of the first things I want to talk about. Yeah, NBA. That moniker. They need to bring that back. So one of the things which I talk about, of course, Coach, what we speak about, we'll definitely like to get your insight on it. Is there has been rumors, of course, or there's been talks that Coach Mike D'Antoni and even Darvin Ham are being looked at for the Charlotte Hornets head coaching positions. Now, knowing what the Charlotte Hornets currently have, do you see either one of those coaches as potential good pickups for the Charlotte organization from a coaching standpoint?
I don't know. I don't think D'Antoni is a West Coast fast break type guy. His offensive style is, you got to have the right pieces for what he likes to do on the court, and that's why he wasn't successful once he left. Where was he at years ago? Well, no, before Houston, wasn't he over in
LA?
Phoenix for a while?
Phoenix, yeah, he was in Phoenix.
Yeah. So he's got that run and gun type offense, and if you don't have the right players for that, he would definitely be a disaster with the LA Lakers. So I don't agree with I don't think he'd be a good candidate for the Hornets.
Okay. What about Darvin Ham, which a lot of people we talked about yesterday about Darvin Ham. No one knows Darvin Ham, even though he's been around for a while. Do you think it's a easy opposition to go ahead and give him an opportunity, or do you think he's going to continue to sit and become?
Well, you're gonna have to speak on that one, because I really don't know him that well to speak on him.
Like a lot of us did.
Okay,
yeah,
so,
when he brought him up, I was like,
yeah, that's like
we was like, who?
It continues to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily saying a bad thing.
That's
not necessarily a bad
thing,
because it's just the fact that doesn't mean he's not a good coach. It doesn't mean he's not a good fit. It's just he's not one of those type of coaches or individuals who's in the limelight enough.
Right. He's not in the limelight, so you ain't heard too much.
Right. Which could be a good thing. Which could be a real good thing.
All right.
What's going on, Mr. Bill?
What's happening?
So of course, going with the next one, Tyler Hero, as we all knew, was going to wins the Kia NBA Sixth Man of the Year. Of course, he won over players like second place Kevin Love. So, do you think Hero was deserving of this title this year?
Oh, hell yeah! Hero's the truth.
What did he win?
The Sixth Man of the Year.
Oh yeah. I think he.
Hero brings it every game.
Yep. Yeah, without question. I mean, just look at the last game they just played. Look at the game they just played.
True that, and of course, we're gonna get into that to a second.
But let's 25 points off the bench as a sixth man. Come on, man. That's right there in itself.
So let's talk about this. Last night, Game 2 of the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks. Boston 109, Milwaukee 86 in a thrashing, but it's different. It's different aspects to this game here. Of course, some of the biggest thing. Oh wait, hold on. Let me give the stats. Giannis 28 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Followed with Drew Holiday's 19 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 13 points from Pat Connaughton, 13 points from Bobby Portis in 26 minutes. The Celtics, however, Jason Tatum 29, 3 and 8. 30 points from Jaylen Brown, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. 21 points from Grant Williams, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. 10 points, Robert Williams, Al Horford, a double-double with 11-11. So, again, like I was saying, when I was looking at this and doing the research for this particular topic, there was a Boston that had a lot going on. The first, let's touch on the Williams brothers. The Williams brothers, of course, not necessarily brothers, no relation, but Grant Williams, 6 of 9 from 3-point. 21 points off the bench, as well as Robert Williams doing all the dirty work, basically locking down Giannis last night in the first half, as Giannis went 1 for 10.
1 for 8.
Was it 1 for 8? I thought he missed his first night. 1 for 8. In any case, Giannis was not effective in the first round. I mean, the first half. In the first half, of course, he turned it on a bit. But additionally, like I said, Boston had a lot of going on, which I'm going to let y'all talk about in a second as we touch on it. Jaylen Brown, like I said yesterday, that Jaylen Brown was going to be the linchpin in this for this particular game, as he went for 24 points in the first correction, 25 points in the first half, 5 for 5 at one point from downtown 3-point shooting. Additionally, Boston shot 46 from 3, shooting 20 for 43. Unfortunately, Milwaukee shot 3 for 18, was it?
Yeah,
I think 3 for 18, 16% from 3. Those things along look like they were problematic. What do you gentlemen say, or was this bound to happen eventually?
I'm going to say, when a team comes out shooting like that, first of all, you're in trouble. Okay.
That part, coach. That
Right,
part.
right. The jump. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this at my level, and I can recognize when a team comes in and everything they throw up is fault. I've been in those type of games where I don't care if you throw the bench in there with your starting five at the same time, you still gonna get beat because they hitting everything. They hitting shots with their eyes closed. So there was nothing Milwaukee could do last night. Number one, they fell in a deep hole and they were not going to recover from that. There's no way. They tried. They got it down to 13, I think, at one point before I fell asleep. But they were just red hot last night, and that happens. That's just the game of basketball.
It is, and I totally agree with Coach, man. When they come out hitting on all cylinders, you might as well call it a night. And plus, not only that, we know the Bucks don't have Middleton either. Like, come on, bro. Like, Giannis ain't gonna be able to do it. It was clearly shown last night. Giannis, he tried to do what he could do, but it just wasn't enough, man. Like Coach said, when they was all hit, Jalen, Tatum, all them boys, and they didn't even have Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart wasn't even playing. He was out this game.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so they still was hitting on all cylinders. When I say hitting everything, like, come on, bro. And you could tell, you could literally tell because I was watching the game. You could tell Giannis was like in without showing it. You could tell he was like, damn, I need help, man. I can't do this by myself. Like, you could see the frustration in him trying to carry that team to a victory, and he just couldn't do it, man. He couldn't.
So it's funny you say that, Bishop. So do you think the frustration was like he can't get no help, or do you think it was also coupled with the fact that Boston is a defensive squad, like fourth in the NBA?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you, Trey. I think the fact of the matter, like you said, boy held him to 1 for 8 in the first half, 1 for 10 or whatever it was in the first half, and that alone will frustrate you. You know what I'm saying? That alone, when you know that they are coming out as a player, they're coming out, they're hitting everything on all cylinders. You yourself know you don't have your sidekick in Middleton, so deep down in your head, I got to do something to keep us close in this game. And they're putting what's his name? It was holding him
Al Horford.
Horford, and then Horford is locking you down. There's nothing but frustration to be built up because of that, man. And I know he felt some type of way, but I'm sure he's got a little bit of sigh of relief because he knows they had it heading back to Milwaukee on Saturday. So it is what it is. But yeah, there was nothing you could do against Boston last night. It is what it is. Boston just was ready.
So, dang, I had a thought. I lost it. Hold on, let me look at it. Someone said something. All right, forget it. But I can agree with you. Like we said, like I just thought, like what we talk about remains true. Defense wins ball games. At the end of the day, defense. Okay, wait. I'm waiting for Gallimore Thomas to jump on here from is because we talked about that yesterday. Defense wins ball games, no matter what. Defense wins ball games, and it was evident that saying defense was the catalyst for propelling Boston last night. In which case, so and what Anthony was saying, Coach, saying Bishop, do you think that this is a sign for falling off, or do you? I think Bishop, you might just comment on it. Milwaukee, you think Milwaukee can regroup in at home?
I think everybody knows Milwaukee's way is a great deal better at home, and that's pretty much most teams. So they're going home. They're not going home on a high because they did lose this last game here in Boston. But however, they did tie the series. I mean, the series is tied, so they did still win in Boston. So that's a huge upside for Milwaukee. So they don't have anything to hang their head on. Does this loss make for a difficult win for this next? No, not too much. I feel like they can still get a win. Excuse me, in Milwaukee. I feel like that first game is going to be something. Now it's Boston's turn to try and turn the table and try and get
home court back.
Yeah, and try and get a win on their home court. But we'll see. I'm sure Giannis this is a good little break. They're not playing for at least 3 days.
3 days.
So this is a good little rest break for both teams. So we'll see. And then I'm sure Middleton maybe has a possibility of returning by that time too. So we'll see.
Coach, you think they're done? You think Boston gave them is basically going to lean on them now and going to take them out?
No, I don't think so. I think it's too much basketball left. Just like any team, they're gonna get together, regroup, readjust, and Milwaukee's not gonna go out like that. I still see it going 6 or 7.
Yeah,
6 or
definitely.
7. Okay.
Yeah, it ain't finna be. It's not finna be. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. Well, obviously they gonna sweep. I don't even think it's gonna be a gentleman sweep. I think I'm like Coach. It's definitely gonna go 7 games.
Yeah. They're gonna bring it back. They're gonna toughen up.
Yeah.
I would like to see Boston go to the. I would like to see Boston go through the field. They just can't win. They can't win the championship. That's what can't happen. They can't get. I don't need them get no further up on the Lakers
He
than
say the Bucks
anything.
and six.
Key, we gonna get to you in a second. You was hiding out.
Yeah, because you was so missing yesterday.
You was missing the action
With your
yesterday.
76ers.
You say work, but okay. So of course, additional another last night. Last night the Grizzlies and the Golden State, as I think this is going to probably continue to be one of the most exciting games of the second round. Golden State 101, Grizzlies 106. We're going to talk about this. Klay Thompson, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 from 12 from three-point range. Andrew Wiggins, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, to include the emphatic body he caught as Clark tried to challenge him at the rim. No bueno. Steph Curry, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 20.3 rebounds, 5 and 6 to Jordan Poole. Although Ja did snatch his soul with that the bevy in his bag, got him turned around and dropped him. The Grizzlies 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist from Jaren Jackson Jr., 14 points from Zaire Williams, 10 points, 3 rebounds from Brandon Clark. But of course, Ja, 47 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, a second time. Gentlemen, do you think I asked this question, of course, and we'll come back to that. Do you think does Ja have to continue to do this in order for Memphis to dispatch the Golden State?
Coach talked about this yesterday. Coach said this that Ja has to drop 40-something points for them to win. And
He
that's
did say
exactly what
that.
he did.
Coach, you're right. Coach Hunter, yep,
Yeah.
he did say that.
Coach Hunter said that yesterday. He did exactly that. He dropped 47 points to lead them over the Warriors. He did the Grizzlies over the Warriors. Now this is the problem. Like Coach stated, can he do that every single night in this series?
You think that's sustainable, Coach?
No, I don't think so. He gonna run that gas tank. That needle gonna hit E pretty soon.
Yep.
They're playing the like I said. I'm not a very avid. I don't have a favorite team, but I know veteranship, and the Golden Warriors are just warming up on them.
Right. To be honest, Trey, this series is like a heavyweight bout. We in the early rounds. Late rounds, you're gonna see like Coach just said.
We see a bunch of slips and stuff.
Haymakers is coming. Oh yeah,
it's like haymaker. We're throwing haymakers, but at some point someone's gonna run shots and run out of gas.
Yeah, the haymakers is coming.
Yeah,
because Ja can't do it by himself. He's not gonna be able to do it by himself.
Yeah. How many stars in the years have we seen score 50, 55 points and still take that L?
That part.
Yep.
We've seen it numerous times.
Yep.
Numerous times.
So
it's just unfortunate that unless he could get some of his other players to step their game up and help him out, share the load. Yeah, this series ain't. It may go 7. But in the later rounds, like Coach said, them haymakers is coming.
Right.
So additionally, what do you think about the foul yesterday, or you're saying the flagrant 2?
The flagrant?
Was it? Did you think it was warranted? Was it a flagrant? I mean, he broke his elbow?
I got it, but did he break it?
Yeah, he fractured elbow.
Man.
That's the same thing as broken. So So if you're gonna give Draymond a flagrant 2 for what he did, you got to give him a flagrant 2. You have to. You can't be one sided. You can't, especially in the same series. He hit old boy across the head, and then he fell because of him hitting the way he hit him. He fell awkwardly trying to save his fall and broke his elbow. Yeah, you gotta give him one.
So, do you foresee a suspension or a fee or a fine assessment?
Did they
haven't did it yet.
Did they find Draymond?
No.
I don't think so.
He
right?
was just ejected.
Right. So,
but of course,
now
there was no bodily harm.
Right. This is the part, right? Unlike Draymond's, I don't think. Well, no. I feel like old boy's was more flagrant than Draymond's, in my opinion. I don't think he necessarily did it purposely to catch your boy across the head like he did. However, it could have been I think it could. Well, we know it definitely could have been avoidable. So, yeah, I don't know if he'd get fined or suspended, but yeah.
So, Coach, I ask you this question: Jordan Poole, as we know, has came on strong. He scored 20 points last night. Clay scored 12 points last night. As a coach, if you have a player or that type of disparity against players, Clay 2 for 12 from 3-point range when he usually knocks them down. What is a potential move? Do you insert Jordan and bring Clay off the bench? You know, saying to kind of like let him ease back into it, or do you continue to run him in your starting lineup?
Well, man, it's hard because Klay Thompson is Klay Thompson. He's a real deal. He's a real shooter. I mean, back in the day, Ray Allen had his bad games, and they ever, I mean, from what I can remember, did they ever really bench him? No. Sometimes those shooters, they fall into those slumps, and the only way they can get out of it is that you allow them to shoot the basketball. So, no, I keep Poole coming off the bench because he's instant energy, kind of like Jerry Stackhouse back in the day, or Eddie House. Eddie House used to bring a lot, and he was known for dropping them deep threes. So,
right.
But Clay, Clay just had a bad game last night, and it's going to happen to every shooter. So I would keep the lineup the same.
Okay, so of course, before we go into tomorrow's game or tonight's game, Coach, let's hear more about you and your journey into coaching, and then additionally after that, let's take a little trip back to the last week with the Nationals.
Okay. Well, man, my journey with basketball it goes all the way back to 1996. I was stationed in Freiburg, Germany, Ray Barracks. I was playing on the intramural basketball team there with the company, and not to, like I said, stretch this out. I really, after that tour there, I really fell in love with the game, and I really started paying attention to more of the, the tactics and how to actually win games a whole lot easier. And eventually I started, focusing my attention more on, the rules and how to really, put a system together that, at the end of the day, you can have any system, but as long as you have the guys that are willing to buy in and do what you say, and believe in you, then you're going to be successful. So I learned that as a player, and as I started slowly but surely getting into the coaching realm, I started believing in that more and more. And that also helped me with building the team. You got to find the right pieces, because that in basketball you're going to deal with a whole lot of different personalities. You're going to deal with a lot of guys that come telling you that I played here, I played there, and as soon as they get on the court and that ball goes up, you're like, where did all that you talked to me about? So I mean, I just kept coaching. I kept, working on my craft throughout the years, moving all the way up from 96 to 2001, 2002. I ended up back in Germany again, and basketball was at its, just about, coming down from its high, because all the bases were starting to close down over there slowly when I first got there. But community basketball over there, post-level basketball was big over there, K-Town powerhouse, Heidelberg powerhouse, Stuttgart powerhouse, Wiesbaden powerhouse, Wurzburg powerhouse, Gießen, Hanau. All these bases had ballers. I mean, this is during the era where still had guards at point guards and shooting guards at 6'3", 6'4", and then everybody else was in tree level. And you wonder, as I kept going through through my time in the Army, it seemed like the basketball players just got smaller and smaller. You wonder where all these big guys went. But I mean, I couldn't tell you what happened, but we had some great times over there. I really got mentored over there by a gentleman by the name of Thomas Benson. He used to coach the Mannheim Mustangs over there. Had a lot of respect in the whole entire community basketball, Army/Air Force. Everybody knew who he was. I used to go watch and study how he coached teams over there, and a lot of the stuff that I'm applying these days now, came from him, because he really ran a very disciplined and strict program. I used to just sit behind his bench, and when he talked, I mean, you could hear a pin drop on the bench. When there was a timeout called, all his players would always jog to the bench, have a seat, and there was nothing said. And if they had something to say, they would always wait till he was done. When they showed up, you knew Mannheim was in the building. Them guys all walked in together. They all sat together. There was no laughing, no smiling, no, because if Coach caught you, he was going to go ahead and grab your bag, go ahead and go sit back on the bus. We don't need you today.
Wow.
Because your mind, you ain't focused. And this brother was about 6'5", broad shoulders. I mean, nobody, everybody was scared of Benson. And so the players had a lot of respect for him. Plus, he had a system, he had a program, and everybody believed in it. And Mannheim won many. When were
you there? When were you there, Coach Isolado?
I was there from 02 to 05.
Okay.
In Heidelberg, the Heidelberg area. So I was with the Generals the first year as an assistant to Coach Howell, and then the following years I became the head coach there, and we had some great runs. That met some great players that I still keep in contact with after all these years. But we had some good times over there, and I kept working on my craft through there. I got an opportunity to coach and learn from some all-Army, all-Armed Forces players that were on my team, because I've never been that coach that, knows it all. I'm humble. If there's a player that says, "Hey, coach, you might want to try this or look at this," I'm good, because guess what? They see different things on the court than what I can see. And so I was able to build really good relationships with players, because some coaches are just, it's either going to be, hey, I don't want to hear what you got to say. This is the way it's going to be. And I learned throughout the years that a lot of your players that play for you, they've been there and done that as well. They got the T-shirt, they've played at the higher level as well. So it's a two-way street. You got to listen. And with that, you build a good relationship. You build a good program. The players trust you. You trust the players. And and life goes on, and you become, that bond becomes stronger because they trust in you and you trust in them.
Right.
So moving on from Germany, I came back to I came back to the States. I spent about 9 years at Fort Carson / Peterson Air Force Base. Built the program there at both locations. Then I ended up going to Okinawa, Japan, and put the Army on Okinawa basketball team together there. We won the championship there against some great friends that I have in the Marine Corps that are still in the game right now as coaches. Not saying that we beat them,
Yeah, I heard about the Marines because Bishop was at MG33 and seen the Marines firsthand, and we
Yeah,
heard about the Marine team.
tough. The Marines were tough at Camp Foster on Okinawa, and one of the former coaches that's still helping out with the Marines out of Camp Lejeune. He was during that time. He was a center there, so and nobody could touch him. I mean, none of them cats over on on the Air Force Base there on Okinawa. Nobody on that island can touch him. And, so I've had an opportunity to really learn a lot and watch a lot of great, talented players, which, I just grab the tools that I need, put them in my tool bag, and the other tools that I don't need, I just, I leave them there and let somebody else that needs them pick them up and put them in their tool bag. But moving on from Okinawa, I came back to the States. And finally, my time came to retire from the Army back in June of 2014. Throughout this whole time, I had still been coaching post-level basketball. I took a break 1 year when I went contracting and came back on leave, put a team together just for a Martin Luther King tournament down in Shepherd Air Force Base. Just because I was missing it from being gone in Afghanistan for 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I came back and went on and finished my contracting gig, retired completely, and then I had the unfortunate accident in losing my youngest daughter, which caused us to move from Colorado Springs to where we're currently at here in Noonan / Columbus, Georgia. I've been here 2 years. Been here 2 years now. The former coach, or the coach that was leading Fort Benning, he was actually one of my players way back in 2012. So we meshed very, very well together. And after 6 or 7 months, we just did the transition, and I just took the realm here and started the coach. And he decided that he wanted to go ahead and still work as an assistant coach, and he hasn't let go of being a player yet. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. So he's a fierce competitor, and but he's been a great friend, and he's been a great coach. And we've done something really special down here. A lot of young guys, a lot of talent, a lot of athletes. We got our all armed forces, all Army center back from Columbia. He was deployed for about 9 months, and he came back like he just drank the fountain of youth. He just had, and this is kind of rolling into this weekend now. Mm-hmm. He I think he had like almost three 30-point games this weekend. The team that we brought here, I mean, we were restricted to 12. Everybody came to play. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to put a team together, especially when the average age on your team is about 24, 23 years old. You got a couple guys that are in their 30s, but for the most part, we got a lot of young guys, a lot of smart guys. But you gotta mold them into what you want them. What you want them to do. You got to show them that you've been there, done that. You know what it takes to prepare them to get to the big dance. And I'm very, very proud of the Fort Benning Yellowjackets. Just like any team, we go through our ups, we go through our downs. People come, people go, but at the end of the day, we're gonna do what's best for the program and what's best for the soldier, because this is for soldiers in good standing, not guys that are pending, getting put out of the military, can't get time. You want to play basketball, but then you want me to go ask your first sergeant commander to let you go travel, and then I go find out that you ain't been doing what you're supposed to do. Now I'm looking like like Willie Lump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Egg on your face.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the guys are really starting to understand that hey, this is a huge privilege to represent your installation, and they're very thankful that they get an opportunity to get out. We practice Monday through Thursday, 05 to 06:30 in the morning. So these guys are getting out at 4:15 in the morning to be on time at practice. Play. If you ain't there at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna stop in practice. As soon as you walk in, we're gonna go ahead and start running until you get it right.
Ooh.
So yeah, so by 6:30, when these guys are finishing practice, probably mad as hell at me because of what everything did. People are just starting to get up. The Army is just starting to get going. Everybody's showing up for PT formation. These guys have already been up 2 hours, in
Right.
grind. And that's what it takes. I told them, this is what it's going
Dedication.
to reach NBA finals. This is what it's going to take for you to do well in the finals in 24 days. Hard work you got to put in, commitment, dedication. And if you don't have it, if you can't do something simple as be here on time, why do I? So so all that, you roll all that up, and you get what happened this weekend. Great turnout. Guys were focused. Guys were locked in. Uriah has a great basketball team. Coach Hunter has a great basketball team over there. Fort Hood has always been somebody you got to get ready for. We actually first game we lost both games of it. So first game we actually had them down like 16 to 18 points, and we had a meltdown. We had a series. They went 24 run and not recover from it. Dropped. 6 hours later, we came back and waited on the loser from the who's going to come out of the losers bracket, which being my old from Colorado, Fort Carson. It laid out after they had been playing since 9:45 in the morning. That was their third or fourth game when it came. Hard to play those games, but the losers bracket. So we winning, but just our leg, wasn't there. Just all the long rest. So it was a challenge, but I'm very proud. Building a lot for what's going to the next 3 weeks over.
So in which we heard we seen the bracket, and once you got pushed out the winners bracket, we seen that it was nothing but potential problems. So it's like trying to stop from hitting the floor during a brawl. Like, hey, I don't want to hit the ground. It's like trying to hold on, stay in that first round. So of course, being you play in the NBA. So you all's conference tournament was going to be in. Is it going to be in, or will y'all be in Las Vegas, or will y'all be in Phoenix City?
So we're part of the Atlantic. So we're here in Phoenix City. So what happened this year was the commissioner split the Central Conference in half. So he sent the first through 1 through 6 seeds stayed. Went to going to Las Vegas along with the rest of the seeds out of the Pacific, out of the Pac West. Mm-hmm. And then here in the Atlantic, it's the 1 through 8 seed plus the remaining seeds from the Central that qualified that got to come here. So at the end of the day, you have 12 teams competing in the West, 12 teams competing in the East, and out of those both conferences, out of those tournaments, the top 8 from both conferences qualify for the NBA Finals in Denver, Colorado, on the 14th of the 15th through the 17th of July.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So, is there anyone particular in which y'all are looking at? I understand. I get it. Probably what the rhetoric was going to be like. Oh, you're saying we're ready to play anyone, but is there anyone particularly in your conference that you like really got an eye on that you're like, okay, we got to definitely make sure to watch out for this particular team?
Jackson Military Basketball.
What is it for? South Carolina?
Yes. They have a lot of great players over there. Very, very intelligent. They shoot the ball very well, and once they get going, you're going to be in trouble. All right. And if I had to call out the next team, is the Camp Lejeune Eastern North Carolina Marines. They do not give up. They will play you till it's 0-0-0 on the clock, and You cannot let your guard down. You take a break, you're gonna take a L. Our conference is tough. Those the seeds that you may see or you're gonna see once the commissioner puts the actual bracket out, them numbers mean nothing. I don't even look at those numbers because I know all these coaches very well and I know what they bring to the table. I know how hard they push their guys. So there's no days off here. You know, we got banged up a little bit during this weekend. I gave the guys asked to have some days off just to heal their bodies, but we're right back in the grind for the next 3 weeks because you know how it is. You lose. It only takes maybe a week or a week and a half or so of not touching the basketball to start losing chemistry.
It's so that's we toss around potentially showing up anywhere. I know for me, let me what to say. Coach DeRise said, "I got a taste of Atlantic President's Day weekend. That conference is tough to top to bottom."
It's tough. It's tough out
here. You know
here,
what,
man.
Bishop? I like. I like to see some of this came up. I like to see the camaraderie. It's interesting. Like, you know how in basketball, NBA, they said it's a fraternity. And that's some of the same things I think you see here in the NBA, in the military basketball community, where we talk to these guys and the players or coaches, and we continue to hear a lot about how these players and coaches have seen each other and face one another, the equal respect and things. I talked to I'm coach. I'm here on Fort Polk. I'm the sports assistant here on sports specialist on Fort Polk. So right. I talked to some of the players from Fort Polk last night and discussed them and of course how they played and how everything went with them. And they talked about some of the people in which we have on the show, that being the Phantom Warriors and how they did. Of course, we talked to Paul Parker prior to that. So, like I say, Bishop, it's like crazy. I think it's that same thing in which you talked about, Bishop, because you said when you used to go to the games, how the games used to be and how it would just be. And I think that's the same thing in which we continue to see and hear about when talking to these individuals. Would you say that?
Yeah. These, I'm glad that that they're starting to get that recognition. Of course, they still got some things to do to get even more recognition. But I mean, like Coach said, I go all the way back to Manheim days because that's where I was stationed. That was my first duty, not my first duty station, but my first overseas duty station was Mannheim, Germany. And when I went over there and watched them boys play, and I was there from '96 to '99, and I watched them boys play, and the game is just. It's just on a whole nother level, man. If you want to watch a basketball game and you're unable to catch a pro NBA game, watch these guys, watch these military guys play, because it's basically on the same level. They're on that level of basketball, in my opinion. I've seen guys do some of the most amazing things on the court that are in uniform. And the competition level is. You'd be amazed. Some of these guys I've watched play, I can honestly say, I'll be like, why did he come to Yellowjacket? Like, why isn't he playing NBA ball? Like, you see guys who live above the rim, who shoots lights out. Like, you be like, man, I don't understand why you're in a uniform. I get it. You may want to serve your country and all of that, but bro, you have a talent. That's just how talented these guys are they're in uniform playing these games. And like Coach said, they're from all branches.
Yes.
Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines. These boys, like, you would honestly think, like, these guys love the game of basketball by the way they play. They put their heart and soul and they leave everything on the court. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would tell you, I'm going to share something with you guys. None of this is possible. I was with the Central League when before it became the part of the NBA. I mean, I spent a decade over there in the Midwest, and I would tell you none of this is possible without. And I'm going to name some coaches here that have been on the long run here. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. Guys like John Morgan from Tinker Air Force Base, Coach Cal from Fort Sam, Houston, Before for Sam Houston, he was coaching at Lackland Air Force Base. Coach, our only female coach in the conference. Coach Kimberly Green. She was up in,
Really?
yep, she was up in
What was
Offutt Air Force Base forever.
right.
Her and her husband established that program up there. Then they moved down to Lackland and kept going. Coach Mike Myers, the NBA commissioner, been doing it did it at Fort Hood, back-to-back champion, back-to-back NIBT championships, and a championship in Korea as well. Let's see, Coach Red out there at DC, the All Marine coach. He's been doing this probably maybe 10 years before I was doing it. Coach Jelani Nix, him and another Marine that's been coaching basketball, All Marine basketball. He's been doing this a long time. Dave Anderson out at Camp Pendleton. Coach Paris out at Luke Air Force Base. Coach Mo, former coach for Cannon Air Force Base down in Tampa now. Man, it's just you got our newer coaches that have just come on board that are still under 5 years. The Coach Wayne Wilcott out of Fort Jackson, and can't forget Barksdale. Barksdale, Coach Ray out there just holding it down ever since I was in the Central. He took over the reins over there, and he's been doing great things with them Bombers at that base, and he just got recognized for a maintenance award. So I hit him up last night and said, when I see a B-52 fall out of the air, I know who to go find and blame. So, all these coaches, and there's more coaches out there that have been in the fight doing this stuff. But man, you guys got to remember that we are all volunteers at the end of the day. We all, with MWR, FSS not really supporting these teams, these soldiers, airmen, Marines, coaches are all coming out of their own pocket to do this stuff, to keep military basketball alive. I mean, I can speak on it myself because I've been there, done that. They used to call me the road warrior. For the 10 years I was out in Colorado, I was driving my team. Out of those 10 years, 5 years, I drove my team from Colorado Springs to Washington, D.C. That's 1,640 miles. That is a 2-day trip, and we did it 5 years straight. I've taken my team to Las Vegas. I've taken my team down to El Paso, Texas. Taking my team down to Scott Air Force Base. These are all 8+ hour trips. And some of these trips were just on a weekend. We would leave like on a Friday night, travel overnight, play our 4 games Saturday and Sunday, and get right back on the road, and to make sure that these guys got back to work, on time without getting in any trouble. So, without the players, without the coaches, there is no military basketball, because these I'm not talking bad mouth in MWR. I understand being in the military at one time. I know the meaning of budget cuts. So you can only do what you can do. So I really applaud, the guys and all these coaches for, doing this as long as they've been doing it, because they don't have to. These teams that are competing in the conferences, they don't have to. It's all volunteer. We got a great commissioner, conference commissioner, Jason LaFaciano. He does everything that he does, the scheduling, the making sure that all the teams are good to go, the meetings, the team meetings. There's a lot of stuff that these guys are doing that people don't understand, or that they don't know. That all they know is their inner circle. I'm putting on a uniform, and this schedule says that we play here, and this is where we need to be. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scene that a lot of people don't know. So, I just want to say, if he's listening, to Jason LaFaciano and Mike Myers, that, you guys have been doing a great job all these years. And I know I appreciate it. I know all the coaches appreciate it, because without him volunteering and putting these schedules together, and, keeping these conferences intact, I mean, we would just be, scrounging for games. And, the coaches being so close, and, in our chat rooms and everything, this is how it happens. This is how we know that we're able to have a conference, because we have whatever 8 to 12 coaches that says we're going to do this, and it's been successful ever since the NBA came on board. We've had a season every year except COVID year, and even through COVID year, I was able to still with mitigation. COVID mitigation plan. We were still able to play basketball through the entire year last year. I think we had like 4 tournaments from January through December last year. So we did not skip a beat here in the Atlantic. And from what I know, nobody ever, called me back after a tournament saying, hey, we had a spread of the COVID, somebody got sick, because we were really careful. We had the chairs separated. We had the temperature station when people came in. We had guys sanitizing the ball quarter. So we took every precaution, all these players safe, and keep them playing basketball. So I just wanted to tell you guys that that these coaches, they do a lot of hard work to keep military basketball alive, as well as the players.
Okay, appreciate that, Coach. So I surely wrote it down. I don't know if Bishop wrote it down. I wrote down some people so I can hit up. I'm already supposed to get Coach Calvin on here. Kim has been on here a plethora of times. Coach, yeah, Mike, Coach Mike, Mike, he's been on. So yeah, he just gave me a couple more to hit up, and as I look to continue to try to get more people on to talk about their journey, their teams, especially as you get closer to the NBA conferences and and the finals. So real quick, we'll dive back into the NBA as we got 2 games. So, Coach, as you see Bishop so eloquently sports the quote unquote the GOAT for his name, because at one point he was pretty hot with his picks, in which he deemed himself. Notice deemed himself. That's pretty narcissistic if you ask me. But he deemed himself as the GOAT because he was picking well. He hasn't been that well since the NFL. He started out hot in the NBA. He finished on a high note in the NFL.
I'm still hot. What are you talking about?
He started out hot in the NBA, and now he's starting to show. He's starting to show a little chink in his armor. So of course,
don't believe that, Coach.
Tonight we have 2 games set as we go forth with the second part of the second round. Philly versus Miami, as well as the other half, which is Dallas and Phoenix. So I ask you, gentlemen, Philly in Miami, who y'all got? Who walks away with game 2?
I'm going with Miami.
Clear cut.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami until Embiid come back, man. I don't think the 76ers is gonna be able to do anything with them until Embiid gets back.
Yeah. Oh no, Key, you not just gonna come in like that. You can't just come in like that, Key. Where were you yesterday, Key? When we was looking for you, where was you yesterday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So of course, I think it's across the board. I think it's across the board with Miami and Miami going to in Phoenix. Of course, Embiid and Kyle Lowry are both out, but of course, Embiid is more of a task. Put the task in Kyle Lowry is in this situation. Even though they still have Harden and Maxey and but of course we don't doing taxes. I got you, Key. I got you. Okay. And then the second game, Phoenix at home, Dallas visiting. Who y'all rocking with? Does Dallas get one, or does Phoenix get a second one at home?
CP3 and Devin Booker. Enough said.
Coach, I see you with the grid, Coach. What you thinking?
I have to ride with Devin Booker, man. With him back in the lineup, and they're playing at home. Yeah. I don't see Dallas. I don't see Dallas pulling that one off.
Dallas is in the same boat as Milwaukee, bro. Like Luka, it's gonna be Dallas need more than just Luka.
Yes,
but I think Dallas has more than Luka. It's just Luka, like we talked about yesterday. Luka is relentless with that ball in his hand, and the only way you could continue to put up 40 points a game is to keep the ball in your hand, and he's not distributing it amongst the other ones, in which they showed they can do it. They can get it taken care of while he was out. So I think that's the biggest part. I think
you saying he ball hogging.
Yeah.
Basically.
Remember that old commercial where they had we had the fun squad and it was like the kid wouldn't pass it and he would never. He's like, give him the ball, pass him the ball. He's like, I can't. That's Luka right now.
That's Luka.
Yeah.
And that could be their downfall.
That part right there, coach. That's going to be their downfall. Unless Luka can allow others to help the team, they're not going to get them. They're never going to advance to the final round. He needs to be able to facilitate and run the floor without all being the one scoring all the points. And the exact same thing for Memphis. Memphis is in the same boat. Ja is going to have somebody else got to step up. It can't just be Ja. There's got to be somebody outside of Ja to step up alongside him, just like Luka. That's the only way it's gonna work, and that's why when Middleton come back to the lineup for Milwaukee, it's gonna be a total different team when Middleton gets back.
Yep. Middleton opens up the floor a whole lot, and allows Giannis to work much better.
Yep. That part.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we got Phoenix.
So, we got Phoenix edition here. We give an opportunity for people to. So Phoenix. So I don't know what I so want to go against the grain on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the herd and look at Bishop like go ahead.
Go with the go.
You see how you try to bait me. You see how he try to bait me, coach.
I'm like Thomas was yesterday. Hey, I'm always right. Thomas, where you at? I'm always right.
I had a first sergeant, right? I had a first sergeant that when I was a platoon sergeant, and she kind of like would try to poke me, right? So we have our platoon sergeant meetings, and she'll be like, okay, you know, saying, oh, maintenance is doing this, maintenance is doing that. I don't know where headquarters is at, and so she would always try to sit up and poke me to sit up and get me to sit up and say something or come out my character. Bishop, I'm not gonna come out my character. Yes, I'm not gonna come out my character. I'm gonna go ahead and say, okay, yes, Phoenix will get the W tonight. I'm not gonna come out my character.
Hunter. Yeah, it is what it is, man. You know, we that squad. I'm not labeled the GOAT for no reason. The world, that coach, just so you know, the world gave me that name. I didn't take it.
They choose you.
They chose me. I didn't choose them. They chose me. Yeah.
It's like Blue Magic. It sells itself, baby. It sells itself. So, Coach, what we tend to do is we have a couple of questions in which we add, and we tend to add something a little more here and here. So one of the first ones we'll ask you is, and which has been, I feel I already know your answer. You being a different cat from a different era, but what we tend to ask yesterday is, if you had to select the dream team or the redeem team playing in either area. Who gets to win? Correct. In playing in both eras, where you select one, who gets to win in both those eras? The redeem team or the green team?
You already answered the question. You just say, knowing what kind of cat you are in the area. You already
tell him, coach. Get him, coach. That part.
But coach, it's some people out there that it's coach. Get him, coach. Some people out there that believes that redeem team has a chance.
Yeah, we did have one.
As I've seen, but I'd have asked the question to at least 10 people, at least 3 out of 10, you being probably 11, has stated that redeem team can get the dub.
Yeah. That's a tough question. That's a tough one, man. It's tough.
Coach Ace, have you heard the team? Has he told you who the teams were? Well, you already know who the dream team is, but have you heard who the redeem team?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Coach. What are you about to ask?
No. So the redeem team, remind me, the players.
The redeem team was Kobe, Carmelo, LeBron, Tayshaun Prince, Dwight Howard. Let me pull it back up. Dwight Howard.
Steph?
No, Steph wasn't on yet. He hadn't been in the NBA yet. Let's see.
But you already know what the dream team is, Coach. So I don't care who you put. In my personal opinion, coach, I don't care who you put up against that dream team. There's not a team out there that can deal with the dream team. In my
So
opinion.
their roster was Tyson Chandler, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Darren Williams, Andre Iguodala, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Love, James Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and Carmelo Anthony. That's
Against the original
original.
Dream
the
Team, right?
original.
The original, yes.
2012,
original.
1992
Yes.
versus 2012.
Yes. 1992.
Okay.
Yes.
So 1992 versus 2012. Now you got to remember now. The NBA done got soft, okay? Remember
that part.
They used to be able to play basketball back in the Detroit Bad Boys.
see, Trey, he knows.
That's what we're talking about. Hold on, Coach Cutter. What you're not going to do is try to say that I'm trying to sway him and try to coerce him with the question. The way I asked the question, and I tried to put Kobe at the beginning to simply explain the conversation.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. The league has protected these players down the stretch. If they go back to the real days, they ain't got a chance, bro. I'm rolling with the dream team.
That part, coach.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
He continued.
No questions asked, bro.
Hey, they was playing basketball then. Hey, not all these little touch fouls and all this other no. Hey, that was when basketball was fun to watch, when big boys was in the paint back then.
Sir.
You know, hey, I remember those days. No.
So it's funny that you say that, Coach. So second question, somewhat the same, but it's only basically two teams, 5 players each team. And tell me what same thing, same type of same error, same question with the error. So the teams are. Let me say this first, so Coach Uriah doesn't say, "Oh, Trey Sean." The first team one is Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kevin Durant. That's team 1. Team 2, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Who gets a dub?
The second team.
Thank you. Too easy. Look, he didn't even have to think about that.
Think about it.
Didn't even hesitate.
You know what? It's like when I said Magic then Shaq, he looked like he already had made up his mind. Like, it don't make a difference.
Look at the era difference. Look at the era. These guys, the second team came up when the bump was real. Now the bump ain't real no more. It's a quick tap and there's a whistle. Back then,
every time,
them boys was fighting in
that part.
To get a bucket. For real.
That part. That part, Coach. That's why I tried to explain to him. I was like, man, you got to understand that the era in which we came up, because I'm one of them. I'm that era. Them boys now. Back in the day, you get slammed on the court, slammed right there on the court. They ain't calling nothing. No. You just gonna get up and continue to play. Now
that's right. You better hurry up. You better hurry up.
You better get back on D.
You better hurry up and get back on defense. You better hurry up and get back on defense.
But that's a good point right there, because get up and get back, because they ain't calling nothing. And now you got these guys on TV arguing with the ref, talking to the ref,
rolling all over the floor,
and the play still rolling.
And guess where it's leaked out? It's leaked all the way down to our level. You got players at our level. I'm talking about players that are 2 decades younger than me. Okay, that they get fouled or whatever. The other team's running the fast break. They over there talking to the referee. I'm like, man, get up and play basketball. You ain't gonna change the call.
That part. Key, that is a huge thing right there. In the center,
the era
in the middle.
The era is different. The era is totally different. It's basketball is way different than what it used to be when it comes to physicality.
It's softer. It's way softer. And Key just made a key point where she says, in the centers, we're in the middle. That part. You're so right. Centers nowadays, you can't catch a center in the middle of the paint no more. They out there shooting 3-pointers. Doing all it is, trying to kill people off the dribble. And don't get me wrong, time has evolved. We know more. You know, the kids nowadays, we know, like, in particular, like somebody like AD, Anthony Davis, he grew up as a point guard. and
Yep.
he just happened to outroll the point guard position because of his
Mhm.
height. But
Yep.
yeah, like he say, back in the day, the Shaqs, the Keem Elijah ones, the Charles, them boys stayed in the paint.
Yeah.
Stayed
Yeah.
in the paint.
Ramsey, what you're not gonna do? You're not gonna disrespect Vladdy. You can disrespect Vladdy, the Hornets Vladdy, or the Sacramento Kings Vladdy, but not the Laker Vladdy. That's not what we're gonna do.
Vlade
That's not what we're gonna do.
Divac.
Lottie was tough. Well, Lottie was
Vlade
Yeah,
tough.
was.
thank you.
Vlade
Yeah, that's what I'm
was.
saying. Like we can talk about the Laker,
Vlade
not
was
Laker,
tough.
not Laker Vladdy, but you know what I'm saying. The other Vladdy's okay. Uh, Shout out to Vladdy. He afforded us to get Kobe Bryant. But
Yep. Yep.
so another one.
But he's right. He made a point though. He made a point. These centers nowadays, they slowly but surely they want to drift out there to the 3-point line. I mean, I know
Yeah.
Joel Embiid plays tough in the paint, but look at him sometimes. He's out there shooting threes too.
Right. Yeah, he does. He does. And you know, Coach Hunt caters to the foreign players. NBA had to grow up, but I agree it's softer. The U.S. foreign players have adjusted to the changes.
Oh yeah, the foreign players are built different.
They are, and they're built different because we all know they start sooner. You know, they're playing at a pro level at a much earlier age than our guys are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got the AAU and all of that. However, those guys over there the foreign players are playing and getting paid big dollars playing for professional ball at a younger age, and so they develop quick. In my opinion, they do develop a bit quicker because I feel like they get that push sooner than our people here in the U.S. So, you know.
So 2 more questions I have for you, Coach. We kind of split. I think this is where me and Bishop definitely split hairs at. And I had started preferencing one, whereas we was talking about all positions, but I want to go back to this one. 3-point guards. Who do you think is the most rank these 3-point guards as who you think is the most skilled point guard? The 3-point guards are Bishop. The 3-point guards are Magic Johnson, Kyrie Irving, Allen Iverson. Rank them 1 through 3.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's good. So I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson first.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson first because I've always liked a big point guard, and his skill set was just. I mean, he did a lot of stuff. He did a lot for the team. The next guy out of Allen Iverson and Kyrie, yes. I'm gonna have to go with Allen Iverson.
What?
Yes, and Kyrie is just listen. Kyrie is okay. He's okay. He's a good ball player, but I just that crossover that Allen Iverson had, it's unmatched, bro. Nobody can handle that thing.
Coach, have you seen Kyrie handle that pill?
Yeah,
I give Allen his crossover. I get it.
That's exactly why he said his answer.
I'm not saying I don't like Kyrie. I just don't rank him above Allen Iverson. I hope Allen Iverson is somewhere listening to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the thing, Coach. So this is the thing, right? For me personally, when he brought that to my attention, Trey brought that to my attention about those 3 guards, right? I really felt like it was unfair for him to put Magic in a category with Allen Iverson and Kyrie Irving. Because again, we're talking about a 6'9" point guard. You cannot put him with a 6'2" and a 6'1" point guard and expect to be a fair comparison. And that's all I was saying. That's not a fair comparison.
Would you prefer me to add?
You can't blame him for being tall. He was
right. You're right. I get that. You're right. Yeah, I can't. That's not his fault.
Would you have rather he said LeBron and Ben Simmons? Was that a better comparison?
I wouldn't add Ben Simmons, but I would have preferred LeBron. You know what? I would have preferred LeBron, KD, and Magic.
Magic still is the most. It still would be. I think it would still be the same. Magic would still be the most skilled point guard.
Most skilled?
Yes. 6'9". You know what? Coach made his answer, and his answer was Magic. That's what we're just gonna keep it at. And of course, lastly, Coach, one of the questions that we asked before we slide into the NFL: 4 heads, Mount Rushmore. Who is your Mount Rushmore of basketball?
UVA player. Yeah.
NBA Mount Rushmore. The answer ain't behind you, Coach. The answer is not behind you, Coach.
Oh man, that's
only 4 too. There's only 4.
Oh, I'm gonna, man.
That's what everybody does.
I need to think about that one a little bit.
That's what everybody does. Everybody does that. They're like,
I definitely did think about
only
that.
4 heads. Only 4.
So I don't want to sell one of my other players short.
So what we have done, Coach, is of course when we were through. Of course, we asked Coach and them. So of course, everyone tends to have Michael Jordan on their list.
Of course. Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying, he tends to be on the list. So on my particular list was Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Steph Curry. That was my list. I can't remember what Bishop. Of course, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. I think I said Michael Jordan. I think I said Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I said Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I think I said Steph Curry, and I forget who my 4th was. Shaq, I think it was.
I think it was Shaq. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I'm showing my age again. So
okay, get in your bag, Coach. Get in your bag.
I'm going with Akeem Olajuwon. I'm going with Paul Pierce.
Woo!
Yeah,
I think that's the first.
That's the first. That's the first.
I think that's the first Paul Pierce has been put on there.
Yeah, so Akeem Olajuwon, Paul Pierce. I'm definitely gonna go with Michael Jordan. Can't leave Mike out. Can't leave Mike. And then my fourth guy would be man. Even though he didn't get a ring, and he talks a lot of noise, I'm gonna have to go with CB, Charles Barkley.
I knew it. Yep. When he said he didn't get a ring, I said he must be talking about Charles. He got to be talking about Charles.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, those guys.
I think that's the first for Charles. I think Charles is the first too, ain't it, Trey?
Yeah, Charles is the first. I think he was the first. But you know what?
But you know what? You got it's kind of it depends on who you're talking to, because the age of the person you're talking to means a lot.
Yeah, because a lot of people they can put Jordan on, but they put a couple. They can put Jordan, but they put LeBron. I even have we had a female, Danita Adams, who came on as well a couple of weeks ago. She chose 2 females. She chose Lisa Leslie, and she chose Cynthia. And she chose Cynthia. It was either Cynthia Cooper or Cheryl Swoops. One of them 2. Those were 2 of her.
Yeah, Cheryl Swoops.
Yeah, chose 2 of them. So I was like, okay. I was like, that was a different idea. Like you said, that was an arguable. I was like, oh, I could understand that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, there's been a couple of firsts on. So
yeah. I think it depends on the person you ask. That's all.
Totally agree. Agree.
Yep.
So, a couple of things, of course, that came up yesterday as we go on into the NFL. Y'all know, of course, a couple of days ago, Jameis Winston was able to finally graduate from Florida State University, going back to get his degree. Of course, shout out to that going back. So, what have y'all always thought about that when you have these players that leave school early? Of course, school is what got them to the position which they do. Are y'all advocates for? I mean, not saying that y'all wouldn't be, but do y'all believe in going back to get your degree and finish up where you started at, or hey, if it ain't broke, why don't fix it?
Oh no, I think it's like that commercial. It's never too late. Never too late. If there's an opportunity for you to move into the into the spotlight, you got drafted, you made the NFL, whatever, you put your studies on hold, it's okay. Everybody's in a different situation. So some people, I've seen some people just forego and say, hey, I'm going to stay. I'm gonna go ahead and ride out and do my 4 years and then declare myself. But some people, they need to go ahead and get and get that money to get their their life and their family right. And school's always going to be there. So for him to go back now and finish, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I totally agree with Coach. It's no different than us in the military. You know, when we come into the military, a lot of people come in the military initially to go to school, but then they find themselves making a career out of it and not ever even going to school while in the military when you have the opportunity, in which they encourage you to go to school while in the military, get your
Yes.
degree because it's
All
paid
the time.
for. Yeah,
All the
all
time.
the time. But a lot of times, I got a lot of retirees, including myself. I didn't get my degree until after
I
I
was about to
retired.
bring that up, bro. I just got
Yeah,
mine last at the end of
right,
last year, and
right, right. I got
after
mine in
20, after
17.
being
So
on 24 years. So yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I totally, I'm with Coach. I totally believe, like you say, if you have an opportunity, because we know the opportunity to make it to the highest level in sports is very slim to none. So for you to have that opportunity and not take advantage of it, it would kind of be a bonehead kind of decision. I personally believe, yes, go take your opportunities. Like Coach said, schools are always going to be there. That's one thing that's never going to leave. School is going to be there. Education is going to be there.
That's
It's
right.
about where you finish it up or where you choose to go. But yeah, I definitely, take my hat off. We know we've got people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s still getting their degrees. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? It is what it is. As
That's
long
right.
as you have the drive and the determination to finish off doing what you started out doing, go for it.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Take advantage of what's there for you at the moment. I mean, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't know, you might go back and say, I got it. I'm going to go ahead and finish out my third or fourth year, and that third or
Mm-hmm.
fourth year is when you hurt yourself, and
That part.
now
Mm-hmm.
your opportunity to go into the NFL, NBA is gone because you know how they are. It's all about business. Oh, you hurt? Oh, thanks a lot.
Yep.
You were the one in college, but now you got an injury. They don't even want to look at you no more.
That part.
Mhm.
And we just saw that in the NBA. I mean, in the
The
NFL
gold,
draft,
the gold.
guys
What's
who
it?
got
Joker.
injured and fell in the draft because of injuries. We
Mm-hmm.
saw that. Kobe Dean,
Mm-hmm.
because of his injury, they had him going first round. He ended up going third because of an injury. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he still got drafted, but that's money. Whether people believe it or not, you getting drafted first round compared to getting drafted third round, that's
Yep.
a huge difference in money.
Right.
Huge difference in money.
A couple of things. It's funny that you say that, Bishop. So that brings up a couple of things as first and foremost, when you talk about the draft, of course, the number one overall draft pick, Trayvon Walker, they revealed what his contract would be, his rookie contract. Of course, it's going to be 4 years, $37,372,622, fully guaranteed. Also to include a $24,360,088 signing bonus and a possible fifth-year option for being the number one pick overall.
Wow.
That's crazy, bro.
Number one pick.
That's crazy.
His life just changed
Oh
instantly.
yeah,
His whole
definitely.
life.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
whole life.
And not to
Like
mention that
everything.
he was even on the radar initially for it. You know what I'm saying? For us to even think that he was going to be drafted. Secondly,
Right.
Bishop, Coach, talking about draft, Ryan Tannehill, as we know, the Tennessee Titans starting quarterback currently,
Mm-hmm.
brought up that he did not know that, one, he didn't know that A.J. Brown was going to be traded. Secondly, he didn't even know, or he wasn't informed that they were looking at drafting a quarterback. Now, first, that's the first part of the question. Let's take care of that first. What do you guys think about? Do you think you should be informed? Coach shaking his head like, no. Should they be Bishop? Coach,
They
should
don't owe
they
you
inform you?
that.
Like, okay,
They don't
okay,
owe you that. They
okay.
don't owe you that, of course. They don't owe
I
you
mean,
that.
I mean, you're a part of that organization. Like Bishop said, they don't owe you that, but it's kind of like bad business. I don't understand why.
That part.
You know,
I do
some of
agree
these
with that.
guys, some of these players find out that they've been traded via social media.
That part. Now that part I
Yeah,
don't agree with. That's
I
bad
don't like that.
business.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like any organization. They should be able to call that person in, you know, at the NFL and the NBA level with this agent and say, hey, look, appreciate everything you've done, but
Right.
we're going in a different direction, and but not finding out from other players, a phone call or via social media. I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So
And,
then,
Anthony
go ahead,
Price,
Bishop.
I see. Yeah, what Anthony Price just said, you need to talk to your QB about trading your number one receiver. I totally agree with that part because I feel as though, yeah, if you know, especially if you're the starting QB. Now, mind you, you're talking about the Tennessee Titans. So with that being said, they drafted Malik. Willis,
Mm-hmm.
the Liberty quarterback. So not only are you not only do you have your number one receiver shipped off and
Now you got your
traded,
backup
but now there's potentially a QB
or
competition
replacement.
because
Yeah.
or a replacement. Yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
QB competition now because they just drafted a quarterback as well. So it's like, man, like, whew, like what do I do? Like that's one of those things that I feel like that's something that should be addressed and something that you should know. Again, like I said, they don't owe you that. However, good business, like Coach said, that's just good business.
Yep.
And so, additionally, check this out. He was on records talking about it's not his job to mentor Malik Willis. So at first
Right, he said
I
that.
took offense.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, I
that
took
too.
offense to it first, and then I went a little further and read his ideology behind it. He's like, we're looking at the same tape, we're studying the same stuff, we're doing the same drills. Why do I want to mentor him at this point? And so from that aspect, I can understand. It's like I'm not going to mentor you to take my position. Now I will mentor you once it's solidified as even I'm the starter or you're the starter. And you know what I'm saying? From that point, it makes the difference. But not in the process. I'm not gonna mentor you in the process to sit up and dethrone me. Like where we do that at? So do y'all agree with that mindset?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
No. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you ain't the man yet, so
Yeah.
Right.
Don't take me shading you any personally. Like this is business at this point. Like once we know, you know what I'm saying, then we can come back and then I could be like, okay, yeah, do this, do that. Okay, so but I'm not gonna give you the keys to my car.
Right.
But my question is, Tannehill even in a position? Has he been in the league long enough to even be considered a mentor for someone else?
Well, so think about it. He's at this point, he's been in the league and he's been on the team for a good amount of time. And Brian Willis is just and Malik Willis is just coming into the league. So at that point, I think it would be that's like the same thing. Like how many times have y'all sit up and provided one of your senior E4s or something like that, and had like match them up with a new private or new PSC or something like that to you know what I'm saying to talk to and engage one of your high speeds at that point. Even though, yeah, he's only been in for 4 years, but he's been doing this. He's experienced for 4 years. He might be your senior E4, and you be like, I ain't got no NCO. Hey, special so and so, take you know, saying take charge.
Right. I mean, I agree with that. I run across that a lot of times where you've had those, you know, you're missing that hard striper, and you got that E4 that's been doing the job, like you said, for a while. So I mean, it happens. Yeah.
And truth be told, I didn't have the hard striper. I was still like, hey, special so and so, take charge. Because it just wasn't like, yo, this person almost got me put in jail. That like this person like, bruh,
it's embarrassing.
This person, we came back from a field problem. This person had one of our brand new privates get in the car with their weapon to go to Burger King.
Now that's a bonehead move.
I was like, when I walk, I couldn't believe it. I'm looking around for Ashton Kutcher to jump out. Like, yo, this is the Fort Polk edition of Punk. Like, I could not believe it when I was told this. And of course, unfortunately, in my position, I was the only. Like I said, I was the only. I didn't even. I didn't know what to do with it. I knew what to do with it, but I did not do what I should have done at the end of the day. That's what happened. But it's like, man, I was like, you can't be serious. And the soldier looking at me like, sorry in the mirror. I'm thinking to myself, like, you did not. I was like, what are you doing? Like, you don't do that. He's like, well, sorry, so told me to come on. Let's just say she was no longer my NCO. I can at least say that she was no longer my NCO. But in any case, So
Coach, but let me ask Coach this: have you ever had that? Because I'm sure you've been coaching basketball for a minute. Have you ever had a season in which you were going into or preparing for a season that's about to come up, or even a tournament, and you had some new guys versus your veteran guys, and you had to choose, like, oh, you know, did you play the veteran because you felt the loyalty to the veteran, or did you play the new guy because his skill set was better and was going to be more productive for you in court?
Well, let's start off with the veteran portion. So
Okay.
this is me speaking.
Hmm.
Just because you're a veteran doesn't mean you're going to get a better privilege than the new guy that's coming in, because it could be you coming in. I'm the veteran, and you could be coming to the organization, and you have a better skill set, and I'm going to find out during that tryout, or once you make the team. Eventually I'm going to make that call, whether what, you're a veteran, but we just picked up two more guys that have way better skill set than you do. It's not personal. It's just it's for the betterment of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, I've had that where some of the new guys that come in are in my time coaching are better than what you actually have, what you currently have on the team. And unfortunately, it just, I mean, not just the coach sees it, but the rest of the players see it. Like, coach, man, hey, such and such is way better than this person here that's currently in the position. Yeah, unfortunately,
Mhm.
either you tighten up your game, or guess what, you about to drop down.
So do you have that conversation with that veteran player, or do you just allow it to be known that okay, you see it, everybody else see it. When I
Well,
put him in, it shouldn't
so,
be a
so
surprise.
so it's gonna happen. It's gonna be like, hey, it's gonna show on the court, and eventually that player is gonna sit there. We're gonna have to sit down with that player. Me and Coach G gonna sit down with that player and tell him, hey, look, I mean, it's not like we didn't give you an opportunity. This guy came
Mhm.
in. He's done this. He's done that. We don't put him in the game. Because I go through all of that. I don't
Mhm.
just base it upon practice, because you already know you got practice players and you got game
Mhm.
time players.
That part.
So
Mhm.
I mean, in our organization, I know before we even played any conference games, we played like 18 games last between October and December of last year. Remember, the conference didn't start till after the new year. So
Okay. Yeah.
during tryouts are in August, the last 2 weekends of August for Fort Benning.
Mm-hmm.
Once you make the
Mhm.
team, you get it. You get notified. You get this. Have this memorandum that they got to take to their commander first, start saying that they support the
Mhm.
player being on the team, and that player is not in any type of trouble pending any chapter, UCMJ,
Mhm.
blah blah blah. So once they
Mhm.
come back with that whole month of September is nothing but strength and conditioning. And then in October, I start scheduling games, non-conference games, and this is
Right.
where all the guys on the team, veterans and new guys, have a chance in many different lineups to show where they fit in on the team. And that just makes
Mhm.
it easier for me and coach come January 1st or after Christmas to say, these guys got 18, whatever, 15, 16, 17 games under their belt already.
Mhm.
Uh, and I mean, it's a better evaluation process, and it's a little bit more comfortable to sit down with the player to tell them, hey, look, it's not like you didn't get the opportunity. You didn't play the whole season already, and you're still doing this. This guy Bishop came in, and he's two guard. Out of the 10 threes he was that he had, he knocked down 7 of them, and then you only knocked down 2.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mhm.
got the ball ripped out of your hand. Every time they push you left, you lose the basketball. This guy over here, he can go both ways, so it makes our evaluation process way easier. But yes, it happens on the court first, and then
Mhm.
the soldiers, and then the players notified. Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. 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 Now I
So
understand.
one thing I was checking out, like when we was looking at the money aspect, like we just talked about the rookie contract for Trayvon Walker. Some more contracts have been revealed. Of course, Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu, as we all know, he is a Saint now. He also is receiving a 3-year contract with at 33 million for 3 years to play for his hometown, which is probably a pretty good deal to come play from in front of your peoples and get paid 11 million for them 3 years. Uh,
Mhm.
Two-time Pro Bowler and Atlanta defensive end. Uh, Grady Jarrett signs a 3-year, $51 million deal with the Falcons as well, with a 34 million guaranteed. Um, Good money being tossed around even after that. But I want to get y'all thoughts on this. As we know, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown is now an Arizona Cardinal. Yeah. Of course, we know DeAndre Hopkins is now a 6-game suspension. So interestingly enough, we see if you was paying attention, we know that Lamar Jackson was like WFT or what the fuck when it came down to his top number one again, Bishop, like he's talking about, number one receiver being traded, quarterback doesn't know. But it has come out that Hollywood wanted out of Baltimore due to the conservative. He said the offense was too conservative.
Right.
So what do y'all think about that? Is it for the team to say that, or when you have a quarterback that has a report with his wide receiver and a wide receiver wants out? Do you think it should be on that wide receiver to be like, hey man, it's not working for me here. I'm gonna go ahead and request a trade to get up out of here. No love. I see you when I see you.
I think that I mean, it should start at that level. You know, if me and you ain't happy with, I mean, if I'm not happy with what's going on in the organization and you're my quarterback, you know, I'm definitely gonna let you know, hey, bro, it don't look like I'm gonna be here next year. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with this, and that. And you know, I don't know. Is the problem with the quarterback, or is the problem with the offense?
That's
and the
a good question,
as
Coach.
a whole?
Because I was wondering, I was like, it's conservative. I was like, you got Lamar Jackson. Do y'all think the Baltimore Ravens offense is conservative?
No,
Bishop, you think that?
No, not in my opinion.
No.
Yeah,
Not
so
opinion.
obviously it might be with Lamar when you think about it. Like it's like it's not. Is it conservative play calling? Or maybe that's what he's saying. It's conservative play calling. And Lamar makes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Outside of that,
because the quarterback's still held under a gun. You know, he's receiving that play. He ain't no Peyton Manning. He ain't no John Elway. He ain't no Tom Brady. Those guys, they go ahead and they change the play, and they're not really catching any repercussions out of it. Now, I don't know if Lamar Jackson is able to, you know, do that, you know, throughout the game a lot like those quarterbacks do. I know Tom Brady changes the play all the time. If he don't like it, he's gonna change it. And I mean, I don't know. I definitely don't think that the offense is conservative. Maybe it's because there's not enough plays being called for this receiver.
Yeah,
I mean, that could be it. Because, you know, Jackson, if you're not open, he's running.
Yeah, he's taking
right. Right. Absolutely.
So, additionally, Coach, I am a 49ers fan. Bishop is a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So,
Bishop.
What?
Yeah. That's why it hurt my heart when you said the Dallas Cowboys. I was like,
So with that being said, of course, as we all know, Debo has been adamant about he's not staying in San Francisco for next year. So what has happened and what's coming out now is Detroit offered their first round pick and a third round pick for Debo and stop checking your head, Bishop, and for Debo and a second round pick. San Francisco did not take it. They said it wasn't enough.
Debo don't want to go to Detroit either, though. Debo don't want to go to
again,
Detroit.
it's not your choice. We talked about this before. It's not your choice. It's not your choice. It's not your choice. Like at that point, you can say, Bishop.
What? Whatever, bro. Ain't nobody worried about no darn contract.
So it's not your choice. But do y'all think San Francisco might have been a little out of pocket for not taking that deal? Do y'all think that was a good deal?
I don't know.
First and third for Debo in the second round. Which their second round was like the 26th pick in the second round, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Either. I'm kind of.
I'm torn. I'm torn in regards to that. I you know what?
I don't think it was enough. I don't think it was enough. I don't think it's enough.
Ooh, not enough?
No. That's a tough player, man. He brings a lot to the organization.
I think that's exactly what they want, Anthony. They want 2 first-round picks for Debo.
Why not?
I think that's exactly what they want. They're looking at 2 first-round picks for Debo.
They want more. They want more on the table. They want more on the table.
Yeah. So it didn't happen. So most likely, of course, like they said, he's probably going to stay. He's probably going to stay in San Francisco.
He'll probably sit out.
Or that, like you said, we talked about that. Or he could elect to sit out. So coming back around, last year's Super Bowl runner up in the Super Bowl, Cincinnati Bengals. Do y'all think that was a fluke season, or no?
Nah, they played. They balled. They played
Yeah,
ball.
they do. Yeah, they showed glimpses the year before. They
Yep.
showed glimpses. They improved the year before.
Yep.
Was they definitely improved.
What was
Yeah,
their seed?
I don't
Again?
think it's a fluke.
What was Cincinnati's seed again?
They were they a 6 seed or 4 seed?
Fourth seed, I want to say.
Yeah, four
I
seed.
want to
They
say it was
were
fourth
four
seed.
seed.
Yeah,
Yeah, they played. They showed that they deserved to be there.
yeah, they did. And I don't
And,
think it's
and
a fluke because Joe
and
Burrow
so
is
was
the
it?
truth. Him and Jamar are the truth.
So
Them two young men are the truth.
interestingly enough, the cornerback Mike Hilton doesn't. He stated to reporters that he doesn't think they're getting their respect. That everyone thinks that they're a fluke and that they have something they want their respect. A lot of
What
times,
respect are they missing?
I guess he feel like
What
that
what was what is he looking for?
he think teams they think everyone think it was a fluke season. They're not going to be able to replicate that season.
Oh,
We'll
um,
see.
only time can tell that. Yeah, we don't know
It
if it
depends
was a
on
fluke
who.
or not. You have
Depends
to.
depends on what players they're losing or who's gone this year. If they're coming back intact, they're gonna be there again.
Yeah. Only person they lost so far is Von Miller and OBJ.
Oh, talking about Los Angeles. True enough.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking
So
about Los Angeles. I was talking about Cincinnati.
yeah.
Cincinnati.
Oh, I'm talking about Cincinnati. Oh, that's right. We're talking about Cincinnati. I'm sorry. We're talking about Cincinnati.
Yeah,
My apologies.
yeah.
I'm thinking about the Super Bowl, and yeah, you're right. We're talking about
He
Cincinnati.
trying to be
Oh yeah,
funny.
I don't think they lost anybody initially that I can think of.
Right.
This guy, he's trying to be funny. Well, okay, I digress. So, of course, we know the schedule. I'm kind of excited, bitch. I'm sure you are as well. The schedule comes out next Thursday,
Yeah.
since 7 p.m. or 1900 military minded Central Standard Time. So, in that, they already have announced. Of course, we know the kickoff game is going to be September 15th on Prime TV.
Hall of Fame
Uh,
game, right?
say again.
The Hall of Fame game, right?
No, not the Hall of Fame game. The regular season, the Hall of Fame game is the first preseason game. But the regular
Mm.
season game kickoff Thursday game. The first game in Thursday is going to be on Thursday Night Football is now on Prime TV. So of
Prime.
course,
Yeah, prime. Yep.
yeah. So of course, what's happened is yesterday they announced the 5 international games where you have one
Oh
game in
yeah.
Germany, 3 games in London, and one game in Mexico. In which, of course, to be a little more concise, the 3 games in London will be on October 2nd. You have the Minnesota Vikings playing against the New Orleans Saints. October 9th, the New York Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. Both those games will be at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In Wembley Stadium, October 30th will be the Denver Broncos facing off against the Jaguars. On what's that? On November 21st, the San Francisco 49ers will face off against the Arizona Cardinals. And then of course the Germany game will be who's the Germany game? Oh, the Germany game will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play against the Seattle Seahawks on November 13th. So I ask you guys, in hearing that at Alliance Arena, and hearing that schedule for international, if you were to try to make an international game, what game are y'all trying to go see?
For me, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
It
it
just
wouldn't
has to
matter to
be
me, but
a
if I had to, I like the Germany game, the Tampa Bay game against
In Seattle.
in Seattle.
Well, you know who I'm going to see. Pulling up in Mexico,
why.
buddy. Pulling up in Mexico. So here you go with that. Pulling up in Mexico. Additionally, also what? Oh, hey. Additionally, also in Mexico. Additionally, also, it has came to the attention that always, if they keep in the same vein, the Los Angeles Rams should be playing in the kickoff, being that they're the Super Bowl champions. So it's already understood that the Rams will be facing off against even the 49ers, Bills, Broncos, Cardinals, Cowboys, Falcons, or Panthers, or additionally the Raiders or Seahawks for their home game. which opponent would you prefer to see first game of the season against the Los Angeles Rams? The Broncos, Cardinals, Cowboys, Falcons, 49ers, Bills, Panthers, Raiders, or Seahawks? If you had your pick, who would be the first game?
For me, I wouldn't. It wouldn't matter. It's the first game of the season. It's an irrelevant game.
Yeah. Did you mention a division foe?
Yeah, all of them. The three divisions foe: 49ers, Arizona, and Seattle.
Yeah, I'd like to see that either Arizona. Yeah, definitely Arizona or San Francisco for their game.
I could get behind Arizona. I don't want them to play San Francisco first off the rip, but I could get behind Arizona because I think Arizona would be more of a threat than Seattle would be. So I could be behind Arizona. So one of them takes a L. Bishop with that sinister smirk. So one of them take a L first out the gate.
Yeah.
So I would like
a division game out the gate is always great because it's going to be a good game.
Somebody got to win. Somebody got to lose.
That's right. Yeah. Somebody going to take that early division loss early.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So what else did we have with us? I asked this question, Coach. Additionally, since we do it in NBA, we have started doing it in NFL as well. Yesterday we asked about the quarterback. So Bishop, what position would you like to hear about today? What we should go with? Mount Rushmore NFL in what position? Quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends, wide receiver. Okay, let's go with wide receiver. So, Coach, and this will be our first time doing this. Wide receivers. Who would be your wide receiving Mount Rushmore if you could put one together?
Right now. Oh, wow. Hey.
NFL is hard. NFL is hard.
More players.
Yeah, it's a wide field. There is so many good wideouts out there. You know I'm gonna go with my Cowboys.
I was about to say that probably. Michael Irvin is definitely finna be on this list. You know that.
Yep, Michael Irvin is definitely one. I mean, he played both wide. I mean, Witten is a true tight end, but he's a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely gonna go with Witten, all time Witten.
Oh my God.
Yep, I'm gonna go.
He's a true Cowboy fan because he's look at him making their way.
Oh, but you know what? I'm gonna go with my boy too, Jackson from Philly.
Oh, DeAndre Jackson. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Deshaun. Yep, and then to end it off with an old time Patriot / Minnesota receiver,
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. Yep.
Okay. Bishop.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not gonna put Eagle with all Eagle receivers up there. I'm gonna keep it completely 100. I totally agree with Coach with Randy Moss.
Yes.
I totally believe he's that dude. Randy Moss.
He used to hunt the ball down. I don't care how hard they threw it. He used to catch that.
Boy, a beast mode. Randy Moss. I'm also gonna put up, and this is probably gonna be surprising. I'm also gonna put up Chad Ochocinco because I feel like his footwork and his ability to get open, it was phenomenal, man. So I'm putting Chad Ochocinco. Trey is gonna like this part because I gotta put the GOAT of all receivers, Jerry Rice, on.
Jerry Rice.
Yep. He has to go on. Come on. The dude,
it's just too many. It's just too many.
His work ethic was phenomenal. So I gotta put Jerry Rice on there. And last but not least, I'm gonna go way back, man. I'm gonna put Lynn Swan on there too. I'm gonna put Lynn Swan on there.
Interesting.
He was way back.
So of course, I'm going to lead off with, as we say, the GOAT of wide receivers and fellow 49er player, Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Another former 49er
player. Here we go. You're doing too much now. See, now you're doing too much.
Another former 49er player, Randy Moss. Yet again,
don't put you. Nobody knows Randy Moss of being a 49er, man. Stop it. Nobody even remembers that, but you. Nobody remembers that, but you.
How long did he last there? Was he there? What, 2 years?
I know. Was he half a season?
He was there 2 years, and his last year was the year that they lost the Super Bowl to Baltimore.
Anyway, he can put the 49ers in there. And don't nobody know Randy Moss but through the Patriots and the Vikings. Nobody know Randy Moss and the 49ers.
Let's not act like he ain't played for the Raiders and the 49ers as well. So
but nobody knows that. Nobody cares about that.
Everybody knows. So additionally, another 49er, Terrell Owens.
Come on, bro. So you got an all 49 around Mount Rushmore? You almost as bad as coach with the Dallas. Come on, man. Y'all doing too much.
And lastly, even though I don't think it would be too far off if I said John Taylor or something like that, but I'm not going to do that. I think I would go with keeping in true tradition of my Trojans, Lynn Swan. We'll finish up my list. So I think that's.
I mean, like Coach said, there's so many wide receivers. We could have put Keyshawn Johnson up there. We could have put Larry Fitz up there. We could have put
Larry Fitz was very close.
Well, my man, what's his name from Detroit? Megatron.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Steve Smith Jr. Like it's a couple of them that's out there.
Went up there.
Also, if you want to go way back, then we go back to the Miami Dolphins, the '80s. The what you call it? Mark Duper and his other guy, his partner,
Michael Clayton. And if we want to go back, we go back to this. Gonna help coach
Steve Largent.
Drew Pearson. We can go to Drew Pearson, Tony Hill.
Pearson. That's right.
Tony Hill.
It's just a lot. That wide receiver field is just huge. Yep.
It is. It's too big, actually.
At least he didn't try. You know what, Coach? We had one of your fellow Cowboy brethren on here.
Who's that?
He's not. I don't think he's. I haven't seen him comment in a while. But Richard Applewhite was.
He on here. He commented about 20 minutes ago.
So do you know, Coach? We asked Richard Applewhite who the top player was for Dallas this year. Do you know that this particular individual had the audacity to say, "Y'all back up running back"?
Oh, Tony Pollard.
Yes.
Pollard, yep.
Well, I'm gonna chime in a little bit on that because he kind of outshined. He did.
He really outshined Elliott. He didn't kind of.
He was hitting them holes hard. I mean, he had some big runs. I understand the whole. You need to have Zeke in there for the the pound and the grind and the short yardage. And he's subject to break one, but Tony was hitting that hole hard.
He outshined the hell out of Ezekiel.
Even towards the end of the season.
Especially toward the end of the season.
Yes,
especially toward the end.
Yep. So, Coach, we haven't had a Cowboy fan on here in a while. What was your depiction of Dak in the last seconds of the playoff game?
Oh man, just time, situation, score, man. He didn't he lost focus. He should have known that referee had to touch the ball before he snapped it. So
that part.
Yeah. You gotta know. I mean, I talk about it all the time in basketball. If it's a close game, know the time, know the situation, and know the score.
That's right.
Always. And that's something that should be taught at every level. If it's a close game,
you should know.
What are you going to do? What are your options? Rehearse your options. I mean, that's in any sport, but yeah, it happened. Unfortunately, it happened to my Cowboys.
Yep.
And then our biggest problem is we always want to play at the end of the game. Yep. Instead of just keeping that gas pedal on their neck the whole time, it's we have it's just the style of the style we play. We don't come out there and just try to murder people and just keep murdering throughout the game. We want to go ahead and give them a little, put them back on, on life support, give them a little heartbeat, and then we want to crush them. And sometimes it comes back and bites us.
Yeah,
but
that part, I like it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it had that. Oh, I prefer to happen to them to us, so I can understand it and get behind it. So, yeah,
of course you would. Yeah.
Of course, yes. Hey, division runner-ups. I take it.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a question for you. How the 49ers looking this year?
I think we get back to the playoffs. I'm not sure how far we're gonna get after that. So
okay.
that's you know what? That's why I can't wait till next Thursday. So when we see those schedules and we get to talking about who is going to win this game and that game is on record, and we can go see where the picks start again, because we ain't start the picks until late in the season, like Super Bowl. But we get to simply start from the get-go, in which I said specifically I did come online because when I looked at it, the 49ers was 2-4. I said the 49ers were going to finish 11. What I say? 11-6. That's what I said it when we was 2-4, and we went on a rampant. And so that stuff like that gets missed. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind. I digress. But now it is set. And when those schedules come out and we get to talk about who is picking what and who wins what, is going to all come out, Coach. So he said smack his teeth and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
but no. I got a question for Bishop. Do the Cowboys win? Do the Cowboys sweep the division?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
not
good question.
Not at
good
all.
Question.
Not even close. Are you serious, Coach? No. We are going to be NFC East champions once again. As you can see, we just picked up AJ Brown. It's about to be problem for you, for them Cowboy fans out there.
Okay. Definitely gonna wait on the schedule though.
Yeah, for sure.
But to me, Coach, as I told Bishop, he doesn't want to believe it. I think both of y'all, neither one of y'all win the division this year.
What? Who gonna win the division?
Look at that person. That y'all see that left hand corner? That corner. Look at Anthony's team.
The Commanders is not finna lose. I know you do not have the Washington. They have problems trying to find a name. You mean to tell me you think they finna win the division? Stop it, bro. Stop it. That's not about to happen. That's why he not. That's why he. See, Coach. That's why he not the GOAT, because he make bad decisions.
I believe that Carson Wentz is going to shock y'all division.
Oh, you do not believe that. He wants that to happen so bad, Coach, because of the fact Carson used to be with us. He wants Carson to be so successful. If he could, Trey would like Carson Wentz to be the highest paid quarterback in NFL. He could.
It's gonna be interesting.
In my face.
It's gonna be interesting.
It is. It's gonna be a real interesting game.
Yeah, I say for the Cowboys, I don't say we sweep the division. I say we go no. We're gonna go 4-2 or 5-1.
I like the 4-2 because the 2 just losses is against us. I like that. I like that one. I like that one.
I'd be surprised if we win the division and do a sweep again, but I'm more on the 4-2, middle on the 5-1.
Yeah. Because y'all probably beat the Giants and y'all probably twice, and y'all probably definitely beat the Commanders twice.
Yeah.
But when y'all come see us,
it's gonna be
talk to them, Anthony. Let them know, Anthony. Tell them, talk to them. Don't let them sit up and disrespect your Commanders. Talk to them. Tell them what it is.
I hear you, Anthony. We got hurts, and we gonna hurt y'all when we see you too. We gonna hurt y'all when we see you.
Applewhite, Cowboys and Eagles, who you fight for first place. See, they disrespect you.
I agree.
Disrespect, Anthony.
I agree with Rich AP.
You're not going to take that, Anthony. Let them know.
I agree with Rich AP.
Carson Wentz,
absolutely right.
4-2 in the division.
If y'all don't get off Carson Wentz, man, I'm telling you, he's finna disappoint y'all once again. I'm just telling y'all, man. Carson's finna be who he thought he was. He is who we thought he was. Exactly who he was.
So of course, again, we have come to our time today. We greatly appreciate Coach Acevedo coming on, rocking with us, insight
Oh
in
man.
many forms and different aspects. Coach, before you get off, please feel free. You know, what I'm saying, any final words before we get ready to get off here.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you to both of you for giving me the last 2 hours to talk about military basketball and the journey and my personal journey on how I got there and what inspired me to continue coaching this game. Just want to say thank you to all the coaches out there that continue to keep their programs together and and keep military basketball alive. I want to say another shout out to Coach Uriah Hunter for winning the NIBT this year. Fort Hood champions. We will see you guys again. We'll see you guys again. Hey, it was seriously, it was great competition. Coach Hunter is a great guy. Does a lot of good things for the NBA and for the conference and his organization. Not only is he doing men's basketball, but he's doing the women's as well. So it's a lot of sacrifice. A lot of his time is being. He might as well just get a bunk bed and put it in the gym and sleep there because that if he's not at work, that's where he's at. And I know how that sometimes takes away from your home life and stuff. But it's a good thing. It's a positive thing because we watch these young service members grow year after year after year, and some of these guys actually move on. That they actually get out of the military and go back to school to go play. I've had several myself in my time coaching that finish their military contracts and get right back into school and get themselves a scholarship and finish out their education. So yeah, good stuff, Coach Hunter. Again, thank you guys for everything. I mean, this is a great show. A lot of exposure for military basketball. You guys got. You cover everything: NBA, NFL. Great stories personal stories that you guys have. So I had a outstanding time today.
Of course, Bishop, go ahead and take us out as this for this
Man,
hump
I
day,
just
brother.
want to thank Coach Acevedo, man, for taking the time out of his day, man. I'm sure he's a busy guy, got a lot going on, especially just coming off a shorthand loss in the tournament. So I know he's definitely back at the drawing board trying to figure out a way to take out, the reigning champions at this next tournament. So I know he got a lot on his plate, so he has to prepare. So we definitely appreciate your time, Coach.
Yes, thank
Definitely
thank you so much.
well warranted. Thank you for giving us some insight about NBA, the basketball, and the military. A lot of people don't know, so that's a lot of things in which you provided to allow people to know more about the sport within armed forces. So that's great. Shouts out to everybody that was on here: Key, Anthony, Rich, AP, all of y'all that tune in. Because without y'all, there is no First Formation. Thanks to my co-host Trey. Man, thank all of y'all. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to enjoy y'all hump day. Y'all be safe. And again, this is May, which is Lupus Awareness Month. So don't forget it. I haven't forgot that I will let y'all know what day it is to wear purple for Lupus Awareness. And of course, it's a quad day. It's the 4th of May. So quad squad in the building, stand up.
Really,
Don't hate.
really.
Don't hate, bro. Don't hate.
Of course, like I said, we appreciate y'all rocking with us high speeds. Look forward to see y'all again. Y'all know every Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours. Please go forth, hit YouTube, like, subscribe, share, do all of that type of stuff. As you said, without y'all, there's no formation. We can't be out here just talking to a bunch of high speeds, 2 or 3. We greatly appreciate y'all checking us. Look forward to see y'all tomorrow. I'll holler at you. Fall out.
Roll 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated in the building. Y'all have a good one.